next.
Hey, I think you just nipped over from Marbella, hadn't you?
That's right.
Your
where
hometown.
you've been on holiday a few days before.
Yes, exactly right. Now, so welcome back to the show. I'm glad you're here to share a very proud moment with me, and indeed the whole world. The whole world is watching us this morning. The first ever global...
World.
Yeah, hello. Good morning, world.
Good morning, world.
Now, Keith, you're a well-travelled man with well-travelled taste buds. Today we'd like you to take us around the world just using fruit and veg. Now, I don't know what you're going to say about each of these items. You just listed them and off we go, really. This basket is overflowing with a selection of fruit and veg. Using these as your props, we challenge you to take us on a tour of the world.
Right.
Start with the potato.
Start with the potato. Potato. Now, before I was very famous and very rich, and I'm no longer rich or famous...
Oh, Keithy, old millionaire.
Who said you wouldn't say that?
Sorry.
Oh, dear. Potatoes. Rich or poor, the finest vegetable in the world. No question about it.
These are, what's that? Is that a King
This
Edward?
is a King Edward, yeah. The finest of all potatoes there is. And you can stew these, you can curry them, you can stuff like that. I mean, when I used to play rugby, and I still support rugby very much, Richmond at the moment, as it so happens, and Bath too, give the boys lots of spuds.
Give the boys lots of spuds. That's Britain done,
That's
is it?
Britain done.
So you're picking as your symbol of Britain...
Is a spud.
The King Edward spud.
The King Edward.
Okay,
a royal
fantastic.
potato.
So stew, English rugby. What's next? I've got custard apple.
Custard, I know. When I first went to Spain in 1900 and frozen to death...
Okay.
I was on...
Hundreds of years ago.
Many millions of years ago. I was on this exotic yacht. Again, as now, then as now, living completely beyond my means on this 46-foot yacht. Good one. It was nice. And I was so poor that I was fishing grey mullet out of the harbour, and mullet only eat the crap that comes out of the things. That's why they're there. And the only free fruit you could get was custard apples.
Custard apples.
And these are the most magnificent things. They're like a cross between avocado, pears and melons, and they're just beautiful. And it reminds me...
Has anyone ever heard of custard apples? We're quite an ignorant bunch here, as that's probably just shown, but that's an amazing thing. And this is Spain, is it?
This is Spain. And in the Mediterranean, in Spain, these things are for nothing. So if you're ever on holidays and you can't really face paying any money and stuff like that, you can live luxuriously by nicking these things off the market stalls.
Fantastic.
So that's Spain.
OK, so if you're in Spain, steal. That's good. Actually, it's a really weird feel, that, isn't it? It's really heavy. That's got a lot of juice in it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of juice in it.
I like what you show. I like what you show. OK, number 3 is the pumpkin, which is, I've got down here, as traditional. We're going to America now. We've crossed the Atlantic. This is traditional American fodder.
Yeah, well, you see, the trouble was when I was filming whatever it was called, Floyd's American Pie.
One of many successful series.
Yes,
now,
indeed.
he's so casual about it at the time. Meant so much to so many of us. Carry on, kid.
And I was, what I remember about America, I was in Memphis, Tennessee, right?
Oh.
Which I had to be. And I was going...
Never.
I was in this 57 Chevy, driving across the Memphis Bridge with a Chuck Berry, long-distance information, give me Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, you're living... That's keeping it real. That's what you were doing.
That's what I was doing it. Right? And I had this black driver here, a really good guy.
Yeah.
And just at that moment, I had a stroke.
Well, that wasn't keeping it real.
That wasn't very good.
No, that wasn't good at all.
And I was casevacted by the paramedics into the Memphis State Hospital. And I was met there by a guy in crocodile shoes, boots, a nice necklace, and the doctor, a really groovy doctor, said, "Hey, welcome to the Elvis Presley Memorial Hospital."
He's got a hospital, has he?
This is where Elvis died. I thought, oh, great. And do you know, that day, I picked up the paper, and it was that day was the 30th anniversary of the day Buddy Holly crashed in a potato field in Idaho and died.
In 1957 he died as well. You were in the 57 car.
I was in 87 in the States.
Yeah.
And the day I got committed to the Elvis Presley Memorial Hospital, where he died...
Well, look, do you know what? Sometimes it just all meets.
It all hit together. And
the pumpkin, though.
I don't want to see one of those ever again!
You don't want to see that again. And you see that as being sort of symbolic of American taste, big and tasteless.
Big and tasteless.
Okay,
big and
nice
tasteless.
Although the 57 Caddy is Chevy's
that was good.
A good car.
Oh, that was
okay,
good.
We're on now to the just very quickly. We've got passion fruit. Where's the passion fruit?
There is passion fruit.
Okay, it's Australia.
Australia. We were up in the northern territories.
Very
quick. And we'd chosen this obscure, remote location to shoot a sequence about Australian food. There's no food in Australia, by the way, but it doesn't matter. Suddenly, over the rock came 27 naked women in the middle of the Northern Territory.
You don't tell me you'd had another heart attack, and this was a sneak preview of heaven.
This was heaven.
This was heaven.
And they were shooting the catalogue for some mail-order fashion house in Australia.
Which one?
The one that they have in Are You Being Served? It's exact. Grace
Brothers.
Grace Brothers.
Okay. Okay.
Famous
We've got Swiss chard.
Swiss chard. Yes. What do I have that for? Oh yes, in Africa.
Right. Okay.
Where
Africa.
Africa.
Make this the longest story you've ever... If you start anything in Africa, make it about 15 minutes.
Like Pooh Bear, he went backwards and forwards to Africa every morning.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Now, I was flying over the Victoria Falls, as you do, in a microlight, and I'm not allowed to swear on this programme. I've been told, and I won't, but I wasn't feeling very comfortable.
No, I bet.
In fact, I was terrified.
Yeah.
And... also, everywhere we go in the world, the weather pattern changes. Where there's meant to be water, when we arrive, there isn't.
Yeah.
Where there's meant to be some, where we arrive,
Other places in the right state.
So, Africa has no water, and I learnt a very useful tip. You can cook greens and cabbage without water.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can.
How'd you do it?
You just put it into a saucepan and put the lid on a very low heat, and the natural liquid that will come out of this will cook it. It's very healthy, it's very good, and in Africa...
You're not boiling out all the goodness?
No, no.
I'd say that's probably better than steaming as well.
Exactly.
Thank you for that one.
It's very, very necessary too.
Keith, what's your book, Keith? We've got to get on to the book.
I tell you what, because it's called Floyd Uncorked. It's also a major television series on another channel, Channel 5, actually. I shouldn't mention that.
That's right, you just did.
And,
actually, no, don't mention it.
No, not Channel 5. November the 2nd,
okay,
Floyd Uncorked. It's me and Jonathan
But it's a
Pedley.
no-nonsense guide to French wine, which is something we all need, because French wine ways particularly don't get the upper hand on you by sort of knowing about wine. You sort of embarrassedly go for the second cheapest one.
That's right.
This will get you around.
This is the serious one. This is the serious one.
Oh, I'll have the second cheapest, just to show I'm not a complete moron. But anyway, listen, Keith, thank you very much for coming down. And Keith Floyd, ladies and gentlemen. Keith, are you going to stick around for the show?
Most definitely.
Oh, I bet you are. Yeah. You're so keen as mustard. This is Channel 4. You're watching The Big Breakfast on the World Wide Web, ladies and gentlemen. How about that?